Well, Paul Skenes started for the Pirates against the Cincinnati Reds in the Steel City on Thursday. He did not disappoint, but then again, he rarely does. MLB Game Night, every game, every night, and we are underway.
When that final out is made, you know it's time for Locked On MLB Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. Prepare to experience game day reactions like never before. Only on Locked On MLB Game Night. Your team every day.
Welcome on in, everyone. He is Lindsay Crosby, host of the Locked On Braves postcast. You can follow Lindsay on the X and social media at Crosby Baseball. I'm Steve Lenox, host of the Locked On Red Sox postcast. You can follow me on the X at Lenox on Baseball. A very light schedule Thursday. Lindsay, hard to believe, but as of Friday, we are 52 days away from the Major League Baseball regular season coming to an end. Still a lot of baseball to go. And we're going to touch on, of course, the 4 games that were played on Thursday, but we're also going to sort of look ahead to the weekend and sort of the standings and where we're at right now, both in the division races and wild card as well. Again, light schedule for Thursday. Braves are able to come back against the Marlins in Atlanta, and the Mariners able to shut out the White Sox to finish off that series sweep in Seattle. Lindsay, let's start with the Reds and Pirates, and Paul Skenes did make the start. It's just amazing. We can go to Baseball Reference and come up with so many different things to explain to everybody that Paul Skenes is having a great sophomore year at the big league level. And some of his numbers right now, as I saw his start on Thursday, almost mimicking, almost mirroring what he did as a rookie last year with the Pirates.
Yeah, the set I saw after this was done was 23 starts last year, 196 ERA, 24 starts this year, 194 ERA. The consistency is the thing that every GM dreams of, right? Like you would love to just be able to plug a guy in, you know what he's going to do, and you can build around it. And Skenes is one of the best. We've never seen a guy like Paul Skenes. I mean, we just as consistent and dominant as he is.
The first big league pitcher that I remember growing up and just idolizing and trying to pitch like him in Little League was Dwight Gooden. Rookie of the Year, followed up by a Cy Young Award in his second season with the Mets, 84 and 85. Skenes has the ability to do that. May very well be the Cy Young Award winner this year with the numbers that he has put up. By the way, ERA was over 2 at the start of the night, back under 2 with his 6 scoreless innings. Pirates win the game 7-0. Let's hear first from the winning side of this, as we've got, Gary from Locked On Pirates leading us off tonight as he's got the details.
Shutout of the Cincinnati Reds to open this 4-game set at PNC Park. Hey, this is Gary from Locked On Pirates. Really good things to see tonight, Bucco fans. The best thing of all, Brian Reynolds finally gets back in the home run column. Hasn't hit one since late June. He went oppo off Singer, and it was a beautiful thing. I just called out last night that we're starting to see him go opposite field a little bit more left-handed and reach out of the zone a little bit more. Very good indicators that Brian Reynolds is starting to see the ball better and take a better approach at the plate, and nothing could be better for this Pirates offense. Jared Triolo had a decent night tonight, multi-hit game, drove in a couple big runs early on. Good to see Henry Davis a home run. Nice to see a little bit of production from him as well. O'Neal Cruz contributed tonight as well. Still not looking right at the plate, still not taking a great approach, I think, more than anything. The swing looks fine, the timing looks okay. I just don't like his approach. I feel like his mentality is off. This team in general does that to hitters, though. So we'll see if maybe the Pirates can play spoiler here the rest of this series with Cincinnati. I sure wouldn't mind it. Sorry, Jeff Carr. Talk to you later, everybody, tomorrow morning on Locked On Pirates.
And we will hear from Jeff Carr in just a moment, Lindsay. But again, Skenes, 6 scoreless innings in the outing.
Can I give you a stat on Skenes?
Hit it. Let's go.
Guess the last time he allowed an earned run at PNC Park. Just give me your random date, or give me the date you think.
Mid-May.
June 3rd is the last time he allowed an earned run at PNC Park. It is absurd what we are seeing here.
And there's 6 over at home, which I love, because if you're going to come out and see a Pirates game, you're going to bring your kids out. You want to see them win a game so your kids can go home excited, understanding, hey, let's go back. This team wins all the time. No, they win at home. They're dreadful on the road this year, and they're dreadful again overall for the season.
Yeah, like you can keep on with all the crazy stats about Paul Skenes. The OPS he's allowed in his losses in his career, it's a 574. It's the lowest OPS ever for a pitcher in his first 46 games for his losses. Like, his losses, you're still not a good hitter. It's absurd. He's your Cy Young winner in the National League, bar none.
Yeah.
Just done.
It is the 14th shutout win of the season for the Pirates pitching staff, second only to the San Diego Padres, who have 15. Skenes has been involved in 5 of them, but they've also been shut out 4 times when he starts this year as well. And Gary brought up a name right off the top, Brian Reynolds. Did you hear Brian Reynolds' name mentioned once prior to the trade deadline? Because I'm glad he's in Pittsburgh. I'm glad he's there on what is a team-friendly deal, and Brian Reynolds likes the deal as well, so it's player-friendly. But I feel like they could have gotten something for him, and it's almost like, hey, Brian, we've tried with this. We're going to give you an opportunity to go and win somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I want Brian Reynolds to be better than he is because they've signed him long-term. And with teams like this that just never sign anybody, I get worried that you sign a guy and then he's bad, they're never going to sign anybody ever again. And like Paul Skenes, those pitchers, they deserve a veteran leader like this who can actually hit. I know Andrew McCutchen's there and he's doing what he can, but like they deserve Brian Reynolds to be good. And I hope he continues doing this.
In segment number 2 of MLB Game Night, Lindsay and I are going to go through, again, the division races right now as we're coming up on 7 weeks to go in the regular season, almost at that sprint to the finish. We're not there, for me at least, quite yet. But the Reds, this is another tough loss. Yes, you face a terrific pitcher, but you get blanked 7-0. You're not getting the pitching. You didn't get any type of hitting against Skenes and the Pirates bullpen. And Jeff Carr says this has happened. This is happening here in August of 2025, and it's happened in previous seasons as well.
Well, that is the exact kind of game you worry about in August. If you're any team that is contending for a playoff spot, much less the Cincinnati Reds. What's up? This is Jeff Carr from the Locked On Reds. The Reds have had this problem the last couple of years, both 2023 and 2024. There were games in August that just absolutely shut the door on their hopes. And in 2023, they kind of rebounded a little bit and stayed in the race until the very end. But in 2024, they ended their season very quickly in August with some bad play. And they lost a game like that to the Pittsburgh Pirates on Thursday night, where they were walking everybody. They were not crisp in the field. They left men on base all over the place. And quite frankly, they got hits against Paul Skenes. It's just all of those guys were stranded. It's a very frustrating game, and now the rest of this weekend series against the Pirates becomes paramount. They got to win.
Yeah, you get Skenes out of the way. But yeah, your backs are a little bit to the wall right now. You were hoping 3 out of 4, but now you've got to win the next 3 in Pittsburgh. And Brady Singer had another one of those outings. Again, no run support, but you need better and more consistency from Brady Springer. I've been saying that since he was with the Royals. Yeah,
I mean, the Reds have an opportunity to do something, and the Reds are blowing it. And like that's just kind of like it's frustrating. I feel like there's something missing with this team, and happens way too often. And I almost feel like it's a youth thing. This is a very young team. They have a lot of guys. I mean, Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McClain, a lot of young players. I know they have a veteran manager and in Tito, but it just feels like this is the kind of thing that there's some 36-year-old veteran in the clubhouse who's been a part of a bunch of postseason pushes who can kind of come in and stabilize everything. I just feel like they don't have that. And because they don't have that, I feel like that's where they have situations like this where they lay an egg against, yes, Paul Skenes is great, but like he didn't pitch all 9 innings. They still had 7 hits and just couldn't make things happen. And it's not just Paul Skenes that does this to the Reds. Other teams do this to the Reds too. The Braves just won a series against the Reds.
Yeah, and what I think the Reds coming off the series, they just they just won 2 out of 3 from Chicago, right? They took 2 out of 3 against the
Yeah.
Cubs prior to this series. So again, it's that youth, as you alluded to, of, hey, build on this momentum. We just beat the team that's in front of us in,
Yeah.
second place right now in the division.
In Chicago. In Wrigley.
Chicago. And then we go to Pittsburgh, and now we've got a 4-game series, and we're down 0-1. Again, we've both said it. It was Skenes in the opener on Thursday night. We've said that multiple times. Okay, so we heard from Jeff. We heard from Gary. Game 1, 4 games again on the schedule from Thursday night. The rest of the weekend series get underway. Lindsay and his Braves play 5 times against the Marlins this weekend. They'll have a twin bill on Saturday, but the Braves able to call it a comeback in Thursday's opener. We'll have the details next. It's ML Game.
This episode's brought to you by Prize Picks, the daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football predictions into real rewards. Preseason's already heating up, and college football isn't far behind. It's the perfect time to lock in your season-long more or less picks for the 2025 football season, all before week 1 kicks off. Whether you've got your eye on big-name quarterbacks or breakout running backs, Prize Picks makes it easy to get in on the game. And honestly, the flex play option is a game changer. Even when one of your picks misses, you can still double your money. So download the Prize Pick app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. Prize Picks, run your game.
All right, Lindsay, the Braves able to call it a comeback. I want to start with Drake Baldwin. Braves take the opener. Again, a 5-game series with a doubleheader this weekend. Impressive that he hits 2 home runs. But that base hit that he had, 5 RBIs total, that to me was as impressive, maybe even more impressive, as that was a beautiful swing he put on that ball in the at-bat where, he capped his 5 RBI game.
Yeah, he's been able to, he's gotten really good at just making solid contact. We had a debate on the postcast tonight with Ronald Acuña Jr. being out right now because of injury. Is Drake Baldwin the best pure hitter on the roster? He's hitting 280, and if you needed somebody to put the ball in play in almost any situation, hey, they can't shift, but they can shade you. Can you shoot it the other way? You're calling on Drake Baldwin. Do you need a guy to pull some power out and get you a deep sack fly? Like in almost every situation, you're calling on Drake Baldwin. And it just shows that the biggest thing for me is that's where I thought he'd struggle in the majors. Like we knew what he was defensively. He's good, not great. Needed some more seasoning, but we all didn't know how the offense would translate. And it's translated phenomenally. He's, I think, 3rd in baseball for qualified rookies in RBI. He's, I think, 3rd in home runs, 1st in batting average. His on base is either right above or below Isaac Collins. Like he's one of the best hitters in baseball among rookies and the best hitter on the team in general. And that's just not something you ever expect to hear about from a rookie, never mind a rookie catcher.
I know I've seen you on social media, again, at Crosby Baseball on the X. You've been clamoring, you've been stating the case for him to be Rookie of the Year. Is it him right now in your eyes? And what does he have to do remainder of this season? You hope he finishes strong. You hope he finishes healthy as well. But what does he have to do in your eyes to, win that award come November?
Feels like he's trying to hold off Augustin Ramirez of the Marlins, who played tonight, and Isaac Collins of the Brewers, who he played earlier this week. And to me, Baldwin's the most well-rounded of the 3. He can hit for power. He can hit for average. He's giving you some stuff defensively. Ramirez has great power. He leads the National League rookies in homers, but he's atrocious behind the plate defensively. He doesn't hit for a very high average. Isaac Collins is good defensively in left field. He has a decent average and on base, but he's not hitting for a ton of power. And so Baldwin just kind of has to keep doing what he's doing. Atlanta's giving him like 4 out of every 5 games where he's in the lineup and he gets a day off. And I don't even think he has to have a bunch of nights like tonight, although this is the second time in like 17 days he's had a 5 RBI night. He just needs to, they trust him. He's batting 3rd and 4th in the order. But Drake Baldwin just needs to be well-rounded with his game. He doesn't need to hunt home runs. He doesn't need to just focus on singles. He just needs to be consistent and do what he's done. He doesn't have to add something to his game like Ramirez does with batting average or Collins does with power in order to make more of an impact than he's already making.
Again, Marlins had an early lead against the Braves in Atlanta to open up their series Thursday night, but Atlanta coming from behind, winning 8-6. We do have Jeremiah Geiger, and here's Jeremiah as the Marlins had an opportunity to get back to that 500 mark, just unable to do so.
Horrible loss by the Marlins today against the Braves. It's Jeremiah Geiger from the Locked On Marlins podcast. The Marlins were up 6-2 entering the bottom of the 6th inning, and they found a way to choke this game, give it to the Braves. Truist Park is a house of horrors for the Marlins. It happens every single year. This team is up, and then the Braves find a way to come back and win it. Yuri Perez, man, gave up 3 bombs in one game. That's not going to cut it. Josh Simpson is brought into the game in a pressure situation when your team's winning by a run. What is Clayton McCullough doing, bringing Josh Simpson into the game right there? And you lose. You lose by a score of 8-6. The offense got cold. The pitching gave it away. Awful loss. I'm very upset right now. Let's go Marlins.
On the note of the youth with the Reds, I think you saw the youth here as well versus the veteranship of Atlanta. So the play where Atlanta took the lead, Jurickson Profar's on second base. It's a ground out by Marcell Ozuna to short, but Profar makes a big turn at third. The pitcher starts pointing at Profar, and Otto Lopez kind of flinches and double clutches, throws the ball away. Profar comes in to score. Ozuna ends up moving up to second base. The insurance run in the 8th inning, I alluded to the bad defense. The 2 young catchers, they're terrible on defense. Pass ball, lets a run come in and score. Like, this is another team just like the Reds that has a ton of youth and doesn't really have that stabilizing veteran presence. And he says the pitching kind of gave it away. I mean, yes, the bullpen wasn't great, but the bullpen allowed 2 earned runs, 3 total runs. You know, Simpson allowed 2 runs, 1 earned. He had a walk and a hit, but it was just self-imposed errors by Miami. I mean, Marcell Ozuna's one of the slowest players in the league, and he has a hurt hip. You had plenty of time to throw him out, but Profar made the pitcher freak out a little bit. It made Lopez lose focus. He throws the ball away. Like, it's dumb stuff, and I see why Jeremiah is mad about this. Like, I would be mad if that was my team too.
Braves trying to win 2 in a row. They have not done that at any point since the All-Star break. Last time they won 2 in a row against the Cardinals, July 11th and 12th. Last time they won 3 in a row. You have to go back to June. Do they make it 2-0 in the series with a double dip on Saturday, come Friday with a single game on the slate?
I'm really worried about making it 2 at any given time. They have Bryce Elder going tomorrow. His ERA is over 6 right now. He has to face Edward Cabrera, who is probably the second best starter that the Marlins have, or best, depending on how you feel about Sandy. And then on Saturday, Eric Fetty's going to start one of those games. Prospect Hurston Waldrop's going to come up and make a second start in the majors this year. He started this. He resumed the Speedway Classic on Sunday after rain drove up that morning. But it doesn't, unless Miami has more self-imposed errors, it feels like this is probably going to be one of those 2-2 splits in the 4 regularly scheduled games, and then no clue what happens in the rain-delayed makeup game on Saturday. But I don't feel like Atlanta's going to win 2 straight here.
We got a couple of minutes here. Again, light schedule, light slate of games on Thursday. So go through the standings a little bit here for a couple minutes. And what I want to pose to you here is, we've got some division races in baseball right now. Right now, Seattle will touch on the Mariners and winning against the White Sox in segment number 3 to lead off. Mariners, though, right now, a game and a half behind Houston in the AL West. The Padres right now are 2 games behind the Dodgers. You have to pick one. Which team overtakes the current division leader and is in first place by themselves, even if it's just for a day, even if it's for 2 days span, but they're all alone in first place before Labor Day? Is it Seattle or is it San Diego?
It's Seattle. It's really hard for me when you see the Dodgers starting to get healthy now, right?
Right.
Ohtani just had 8 strikeouts the other day. It's hard for me to pick anybody to pass the Dodgers. And when you look at Seattle, the offense has been really good. They've scored over 500 runs. They've also allowed over 500 runs. It's very uncharacteristic of the Seattle Mariners, and the pitching injuries in the rotation have been part of that. But they've got guys in rehab starts. They've got guys coming back. And the additions they made at the deadline, assuming that Naylor's shoulder is okay. I think he left the game. Was it today or yesterday with the shoulder?
Today.
Assuming that his shoulder's okay, you feel like they've had the offense. They're like 3rd or 4th in homers this year. The Seattle Mariners are, combined with the fact the pitching should be better. And it's a Houston Astros team that feels like they're doing it. They're not dominant in it though, right? Like they haven't scored 500 runs in a game. I mean, or 500 runs in a game, 500 runs on the season yet. And like I think they're the only, as of right now, playoff team that's below that threshold. And so it just feels like I like Seattle to do it over San Diego.
All right. Even Dodgers win the division, Astros win the division. Those are 2 tight races for the division title right now. But true or false for you, and why? American League, National League wild card. And it doesn't have to finish in the order it's currently in. But you've got the Red Sox, Mariners, Yankees, AL, NL. You've got the Cubs, Padres, and Mets. True or false? Those are the 6 teams that are in the wild card spots or division winners. And nobody's going to catch those 6 teams right now as they have playoffs started today. They'd be the wild card teams. Does that make sense there? Because I got a little wordy.
Yeah. Here's the hard part for me. I feel like in the National League, those teams are set, right? I don't see the Reds catching the Mets or Padres or Cubs. I feel like that's locked. I don't really feel that much confidence in the New York Yankees holding that 3rd wild card spot. But who's going to catch them? The Cleveland Guardians? Maybe the Texas Rangers, maybe Kansas City gets hot late, but Kansas City's below 500 team. They've barely scored 400 runs on the year. Like, it really, I'm going to say yes, those 6 teams are locked. I think if anybody loses out, it's probably the Yankees. And I think it's just them losing, not somebody else coming up and beating them. Maybe the Rangers figure it out offensively. I'm not super confident in the Yankees, but I don't see who else is going to come back and catch them.
And that series just wrapped up. The Rangers had an opportunity for a series sweep and send the Yankees to a 6th straight loss on Wednesday in the finale in Arlington. That didn't happen. The Yankees held on. Bednar got the job done through a ton of pitches, more than he ever has in any big league game. But the Yankees were able to hold on. And so it's a 1.5 games up on both Cleveland and Texas. But yeah, I thought, you want to win the series. Rangers did that. But really, if they could have completed that series sweep and sent the Yankees on the plane with a 6th straight loss in walk-off fashion because they had the threat in their final at bat, didn't happen. That could have you really could have made a case tonight for the Rangers. Yeah, they're going in the right direction. They can be that team.
If my math is right, that would have put them 0.5 game behind the Yankees for that final spot. It sounds dumb. 1.5 games isn't that big. It's just it's hard to see anybody really. I mean, the Rangers are probably that team. I don't see the Royals. I don't see the Rays. I don't see the Guardians doing it. It's the Rangers or bust here in the AL wild card for that final spot. It's a 4-team race for 3 spots.
Yeah, the Mariners able to pull off a series sweep against the White Sox on Thursday, and we have the details next. It's MLB Game Night.
Have you ever decided at the very last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Game Time comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last minute tickets without the stress. And with the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you because Game Time makes it possible. Because Game Time makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account, Redeem code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
All right, in Seattle on Thursday, Mariners able to complete the series sweep over the White Sox. They win it in 11, 4-3 the final, Lindsay. Dominic Canzone, RBI single in the 11th inning. White Sox had plenty of opportunities, and we welcome in Todd Welter, Locked On White Sox. He's got the details from the White Sox side, and again, opportunities missed for Chicago.
Someone is going to have to explain to me why Josh Rojas is still on this roster. He can't hit, and his supposed strong defense at third seems like a myth. His defensive gaffe in extra innings cost the White Sox dearly. Hello, I'm Todd Welter, host of Locked On White Sox, and the White Sox got swept by the Mariners after losing 4-3 in 11 innings. Chicago had a chance to salvage a victory as it clung to a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 10th. Miles Mastrobuoni laid down a sacrifice bunt to third, where Rojas had just entered the game to replace Brooks Baldwin, who homered, by the way. Well, Rojas airmailed the throw to first. Tying run scores. Now, Rojas is not the sole reason the White Sox lost. Going 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position is a huge reason.
Yeah.
But still, Rojas' error is a terrible look for a guy hitting 174. I mean, he should have been designated for assignment last week. Said he was in there during a critical situation because of this myth. He can still play good defense. He has -7 defensive runs saved this year at third. Get this guy off the team. And I'll have more on tomorrow's episode of Locked On White Sox.
1 for 17 is not going to cut it in the big leagues. Canzone, the game winner. Cal Raleigh, 0 for 3 in this game. Left for a pinch runner in the 8th inning, so they didn't have his bat available in extra innings as they win this one in 11 innings. I thought that was an interesting note. We touched on earlier with Naylor. Day-to-day right now, Dan Wilson says. So a little bit of a shoulder issue, soreness, took him out. How about Naylor and the fact they said something along the lines of Ichiro. I didn't write it down. Shame on me. But Naylor, you want his bat in the lineup, provide some pop, but this guy's been sneaky fast on the bases as well with a lot of steals since he came from Arizona.
Both Naylor and Cal Raleigh have double-digit steals on the year, and it's not something you think catchers and first basemen can do.
Save your legs.
But it's every now and then you get that player. This reminds me of that one season where Freddie Freeman stole like 20 bags in LA. And it's like, where did this come from? It's those little contributions that you're not counting on that. Like, you never build a roster thinking we got to get Josh Naylor to steal a bunch of bags. But when you get it, it's always a nice little value add to it.
Yeah.
I do think it's odd though that like I can't imagine any game that close, you want to take Cal Raleigh's bat out. Obviously, they didn't know it was going to go to extras. But it feels like he got on. He's got 13 stolen bases. He's not the slowest guy in the world. Maybe leave him in there.
Has an idea of what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mariners' 8th walk-off win of the season, 24th one-run victory. Right now, a game and a half behind Houston for first place in the AL West. Athletics in our nation's capital against the Nationals on Thursday, wrapping up a 3-game series. They take the finale. They take the series 2-1, 6-0 the final. How about Jacob Lopez? 7 2/3 scoreless, career high 10 strikeouts. The number that I love, 0 walks. And that might be something. It says a lot about Lopez. It might also say something about the anemic Nationals offense as well.
I mean, we heard that from Ryan Clary the other day when you and I did a show, and he talked about like the post-trade deadline Nationals have been dreadful, but just I don't think I expected them to be this bad. Like, James Wood looked like he was a superstar first half of the year. He goes over 4, strikes out twice. You have a great note here. I love how you do this. Started July through today, James Wood's 18 for 110 with 45 strikeouts. It is an absurd cold streak. But like that's. And
I saw a note earlier in the week. He's not seen fastballs. Everything has spin on it.
I wouldn't throw him fastballs either.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah. Yep. Way to catch up.
Let him wait for him to figure this out before you start doing something else to him. But yeah. I mean, it's obviously he's not done it. Same time, Washington's not competing. Let him work through it now so that maybe next year, if they have a good offseason and a good free agency, maybe they can be one of those teams that hovers around the wild card a little bit later than they did this year.
Yep, for the Athletics, Colby Thomas. You always remember your first 2-run home run in the second. Also picked up his third RBI of the season with a sac fly in the fourth inning. That home run for Thomas, first in the major leagues. Love to see it.
Yeah, and another just young player. They have so many young guys on this roster.
Yeah.
But thankfully, they do have that older veteran in Brent Rooker who can kind of guide some of these guys. But they've gotten just about every young player they brought up has hit and hit well, and it's I dare say the A's offense is kind of the gold standard of what you want when you rebuild a team. Completely tear it down and rebuild.
Well
This
said.
you're trying to build.
Yeah, because you've got Brent Rooker's your veteran.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think he's 30 yet, and he's until they get to Las Vegas. Like he'll be there for the first season in Las Vegas. But I mean, just all the young talent, whether it's Jacob Wilson, Nick Kurtz is going to win Rookie of the Year in the American League. It looks like Tyler Soderstrom, who homered in this one. Shea Langoliers led off, I think it was last night, and hit 3 home runs last night. Like, they've got so many young guys that are doing great here. I do worry a little bit about second base. Maybe Zach Geloff hasn't been the guy they thought he was going to be. But outside of that, they've done everything right on the position player side. And then look at Jacob Lopez. You got 7 2/3 score with him tonight. You can't always count on playing the Nationals, but that's definitely something to work off of.
All right, less than 2 minutes to go. Latest edition MLB Game Night. What are you looking forward to? What series has caught your eye for the weekend?
Ooh, Mets Brewers. I just watched this Brewers team come in and sweep Atlanta. The Mets have been terrible recently. They've lost like 8 of their last 9. They just got swept by the Guardians. And not only swept by the Guardians, Juan Soto had to hit a solo shot to not get no hit by the Guardians. So the Mets need this bad. The Brewers are not a team you try to get right against.
Yeah, I'm going Blue Jays Dodgers, especially with what Toronto just did in Colorado. I don't know that those numbers certainly aren't going to go to LA.
63 hits and 45 runs against the Dodgers.
Yeah. You've got Scherzer Kershaw Friday night. That makes me giddy.
Yeah, and then Blake Snell, Chris Bassett on Saturday.
Yep.
Sneaky good matchup. Eric Lauer has been fantastic this year. He pitches Sunday versus Yamamoto. But this is one of those, to me, the Blue Jays have had one of the best records of the American League. Are they really legit? You're going to find out this weekend when they go into LA to play the Dodgers. You will find out one way or the other. Yeah.
Hey, that's going to do it for our latest edition of MLB Game Night. Every game, every night. Be sure to tell your friends all about us. Subscribe to the Locked On MLB YouTube channel. Hit the notification button, and that's going to alert you to when we go live with each edition. Lindsay and I are going to be back Friday night, and you've got us through the entire weekend as well. MLB Game Night, part of the Locked On Sports Network, your Major League Baseball clubs every day.